Property tax season here in the state of Wisconsin. It's a glorious time of year around the middle to end of December when we all start getting our property tax bills, and people freak out about the fact that they have to pay any taxes at all, which means that the government must be wastefully spending that money, because for them to have to collect any taxes in order for us to enjoy the services that they provide, like libraries, schools, trash collection, snow plows, road repair, all that kind of stuff, well, for them to have to provide any of that and charge us for it is just absolutely ridiculous. And how nobody's going to be able to afford any sort of house at the rate that these property taxes are going up. Now, of course, I didn't find out about the start of property tax season by going to my mailbox and finding my property tax bill. No, my mail wasn't first that day. I went to the Book of Faces and saw that people were complaining about how property taxes are getting out of control and how nobody can afford to live in their houses anymore. And I got to thinking, you know what? I'm a lawyer. I can see all of this information myself for anybody's property, but let's start with my own. So I live in a pretty nice house in a pretty nice neighborhood. Let's see how much property taxes have gotten out of control in recent years. So the first thing I did was go on the Waukesha County Tax Assessor's website and found my address, and you can see that my property tax bill is right here, and I owe $5,470.03. Now, I don't mind sharing this with you because, again, it's all public. But you can also go back and see what it was in past years. And I thought, well, that went up $100 from last year, so what were the property taxes back in 2010, let's say? I went and found the tax bill for 2010, more than a decade ago, and I found that my house was assessed at the same value. So they were basing their taxes on the same assessed value of $505,000. But the property taxes were over $7,300. If you go back to 2000, the assessed value of my home was only $412,000. And yet the property tax bill was more than $1,000 more than what I'm paying now. To me, this illustrates a point I've been trying to make on this app for a while now, and that is affordability isn't just costs. And cutting costs isn't the only way to make things more affordable. The other half of affordability is income. And increasing your income is another way to make things more affordable, even if costs stay the same or even go up a little bit. Case in point, owning a home, one of those costs is property taxes, paying those property taxes. And over the last over 2 decades, that cost has gone down by over $1,000 a year. And because our property taxes have to be assessed equally, that means a lot of people are looking at the exact same situation. And yet there are still people out here complaining that their lives have become unaffordable. And maybe they have. I'm not trying to say that they're right or wrong. And I also acknowledge that other costs have gone up while these costs have gone down. But at the same time, if one of your major cost components every year has gone down over $1,000 a year in the last 24 years, and you still find your life to be unaffordable, maybe it's time to look a little less at the cost side of that equation and start looking a little more at the income side and finding out what's going on there.